Hello and welcome to our playthrough of Lord of the Rings Adventure card game. We're on quest 4, we must away, and we've only failed this 3 times, which is pretty good. But due to time constraints, I am changing the playstyle for the first time to narrative. I've just not been able to figure out how to do this quest, so we're hopefully going to be able to one-shot it on the narrative difficulty. Please don't judge me. If I had more time to spare, I would absolutely.
You fought your way into the forest of Mirkwood to rescue the famous Bilbo Baggins. After fighting spiders and bears and meeting a strange creature by the name of Smeagol, you arrive at a ruined structure deep in the forest. The old ruin operates as a staging point for mysterious slave caravans managed by a host of orcs. You believe the old hobbit is imprisoned in the tower. You manage to sneak into the structure, but without warning you are betrayed by Smeagol. Triggering an ancient mechanical trap, the contemptible creature drops you into a rancid basement. Knocked unconscious by falling debris, you finally come to your senses.
Ulfthac's room is as dark as his mood. He tears into the cold meat, juices gushing down his scarred jaw. Things are afoot the great orc cannot explain. Attacks in the forest, a ravaged patrol, the storage room mysteriously emptied. Ulfthac grunts and angrily throws his empty drinking horn against the wall, where it splinters to join a pile of dry bones and other detritus on the floor. Breathing heavily from climbing the stairs, Ulfthac's mewling steward, Slaggid, worms his thin frame into the room. Must the goblin always be clutching one of his parchments?
What do you want, worm?
Ulfthac licks dry the bone, and it joins the drinking horn.
A visitor has come, Ulfthak.
Slaggid lisps, and adjusts his cloak nervously.
From Dol Guldur.
Fear is not a common emotion in orcs, and Ulfthac considers himself uncommonly brave. Even so, he cannot halt the tendrils of dread that shoots down his spine.
The mouth of the Cold Ones has come.
You force your bruised body to stand, head throbbing like a dwarven feast. Your garments are soaked and dripping from lying in stagnant water. Now where has that blighted Smeagol dumped you? The ceiling above must have retreated to its former position. Through a crack in the wall, moonlight paints the dank cellar in a bloom of grey light. Your feet splash as they move, for the nearby swamp has laced its way into the tower's foundations. Stale water and light-starved cattails fill most of the cellar. White tadpoles skitter about in the water, and thin lizards bob their heads on the slimy walls. The far end of the cellar is hidden in shadow. Did the shadow just move? It rolls and ripples before emerging into the moonlight. It's not a shadow at all, but some vast slug. It extends its beer-moth head and eye tentacles towards you, snorts a drizzle of fetid saliva, and proceeds to tug its enormous body under itself. It seems to have made up its mind. You are food.
We ain't food, buddy boy.
By life or death, I can
Not
say
on narrative mode, we ain't.
Mine is the choice of Lúthien.
Let's do this. Let's get some good moans. Ooh. Owen gets targeted a lot. We're mulling heavily then for some attachments for the other guys. Ranger Spear. Shield of Rohan. Nailed it. So my logic is you have to cast self-preservation on turn 1. You do not have to play Elven Blade. You should play Ranger Spear for the extra attack. It's that simple. We've figured it out. We've got a plan. You're going to take damage, Arwen, but you're going to be a suit. Change tact. I like it. Let's just play things. Before you can treacherously stop me. So we can't one-shot. We can stop some damage, though. No. Let's see what you're doing with your 3 resources. Oh, let's attack your face. 3 resources. Alright, let's attack your face. It's clever, this one. Okay, we can deal with that. I can live with that. That could have been a lot worse. Every time we play a card. So we shan't play a card until we've dealt with you. Arwen's going to self-heal. We don't need T-shields of raw hand. Are we blocking the slug damage? No, we're doing that. We're doing that. We're exhausting him. And then we're doing that. We don't care about taking all that damage. We genuinely don't. Who's got block and who's not? You've got nothing. You're getting that this turn. Gimmel stop. We're armoured up. We are armoured up. You not doing anything else? What are you doing with your 3 resources? Treachery. Treachery. Wait. Revenge +2. That's why it bumps up to 33. Right. So we are not going to resolve this. They are going to heal. Yes. It needs to be on 33. Timing these events, these threat events, is just imperative. Because if I had waited to 34... We'll explain.
A tall figure awaits Ulfthek in the tower's main hall. He wears cold-hammered black armor, and a black cowl shadows his features except for the unnatural glint in his grey eyes. Ulfthek purposefully strides into the hall to stand before the imposing figure. Damned if he'll show the fear he feels. The mouth of Dol Guldur is not fooled, and smiles cruelly.
Ah, you have message from Cold Ones?
Ulfthek snarls, discomforted by the unnatural chill emanating from Dol Guldur's favored messenger.
I've written without halt, so I shall be precise.
The voice is like frozen stone.
I'm to inform you that the masters need the promised slaves with haste. The last batch expired faster than anticipated.
New prisoners, all here, mouth!
Ulfthek grunts.
My warriors, provision first. Leave for Black Hill next dark.
At that moment the tower rumbles and jolts, as if a great fist had struck its foundations.
It's the sluggy!
The enormous slug falls and the walls tremble, sousing the air with an avalanche of grime. Behind a patch of bogland ivy, you discover a narrow staircase and commence to climb the mouldy steps at once. While ascending, a clamour can be heard in the tower above, harsh yells, clanging of doors, and the bellows of a great orc. How will you ever get out? The stairs emerge into a derelict alcove, overgrown with cobwebs and moss. It faces a great room, finely decorated of old, but now ruined and forgotten. As the racket of the enemy grows closer, you've no doubt that he'll soon be upon you. Speed may be your only hope. You rush towards a set of oaken doors on the far wall, when disaster strikes. As you emerge from the alcove, a troop of orcs slog into the room. They roar in excitement and draw their weapons as more enemies arrive. You are surrounded.
We are. But we have to who needs healing? Arwen, my dear. Arwen, my dear. We have to make sure there are things that are partially but not wholly dead. Who needs block? Aragorn needs block. Aragorn's sitting pretty, really. I still think we give it to... Or do we give it to Arwen? No, we give it to... We give it to Aragorn. We don't need allies. We don't need allies. Not at all. Arwen's 2 damage is quite nifty right now. Quite nifty indeed. So let's use her for a slightly unusual task. So we are leaving you with 1 health. I think it's so clever. Which one do we want to do? It makes the most sense. Or do we hit with Aragorn twice? No. Yeah. Let's see what you're doing with your 2 resources. Who's gaining block? I don't care. Oh, I do not care. Oh, and again. You take so much damage. I don't think we need a spear, do we? Oh, Gimmelstab will take a spear. No one's a threat of dying. Gimmelstab will take the spear. That's not what I wanted to see. And he's got block. We need to start defending. Because Arwen's taking too much damage. We can do that next turn. Ulthac's going to come in 2 turns at this rate, unless there's any other shenanigans. Let's just keep the board clear. It seems like the play. I think I'd rather use Aragorn again. Sneaky bugger. Good job as well. Okay, even narrative's not easy, which is slightly upsetting. We've got a hill. We need to... God, he's unfortunate. It's a shame that does nothing. We have to go with Aragon. Unless the computer's AI breaks itself, which it did. Doesn't normally do that. So that was fortunate. That was fortunate. I can't fight up again. I wanna... He's got fate. The scout has got fate. That's the play. Because we can still double use Aragon. Which we'll do now. No, we can green with Defender. That's probably a better play. And double using Aragon. Oh, fair enough. Has it still got... What does it not look like?
My time has come.
You did your job. You did your job.
How may I serve?
Tears were shed. Tears were shed. One resource can't bring me much hate, can it? Surely. Bullsack's coming, whether we like it or not. That would be a preposterous thing to do. Defend with our blessed caregiver. 2 treacheries. One's going to be event related, surely. One's going to be exhausting. Can we one-shot you? Do we need to one-shot you? She's going to go up to 7. Actually, who are we? Aragorn this time, I think. 2 cards, bless. So can we take 8 damage? And then travel. I think most importantly, we guard up. Defend up, how many times? So revenge wouldn't happen if we travel. Is that a fair statement? Is that a thing that would happen? Well, I feel like end does when we travel. I don't know anymore. We're on 38, let's remember. If end does, that was not cricket, is it? Oh, just kill the king.
You can't escape.
Okay, Aragon. Back to the party. Right. So we can live... Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? I don't wish to... play the accent. I think we got Arwen sufficient to bring up our fate.
My axe swings too.
Okay. Fine. I'm not at all fussed about either of those, which is quite nifty. Nifty indeed. So we're on 38. Are we going to see some orcs? And are we going... So what is... Okay.
You've broken through the enemy ranks and reached the heavy oaken door. Rushing into the room beyond, you hastily barricade the door behind you. Hinges rattle and splinters fly as the orcs administer powerful blows, urged on by a deep booming voice. The door won't hold long. A hiss causes you to turn, as you realize that you've stumbled into the tower's jail. Smeagol is crouching before one of the cells, glaring at you with undisguised loathing. You don't have to guess whose cell this is. Smeagol hisses again, rising protectively before the cell door.
Stop them, we must. Nasty masters cannot have precious.
The door booms again, and several planks fly across the room. Smeagol shrieks as he charges you, face twisted with deranged fury.
Well, we need to kick this guy to the curb. He's a pain in the bum. Ooh. Final encounter. Drive off Smeagol and save Bilbo. Summon one river troll. Great timing. The wounded orc twitches on the ground, still clinging to life somehow. That was last go. We've moved on. We have moved on. I think we play the defender. Smeagol flees if at 2 or fewer health. Summon one random orc. A 3-paw Bilbo. Okay. Let's play the defender. I can live with that.
Time has come.
I can live with that. What are we doing here? I'm not sure what the sequence is. It's an extra 2 fate, which I like. Location specific. Summon one random ally. Let's do it.
For the Elven King.
Ooh. Ooh. Then let's play the lookout. There's no treachery. Not worried about 1 damage. From whatever. Whatevs. Whatevs. Let's start hitting you in the face. 3 resources. Grant +1 to Sauron when orc. Let's not let you attack. That's the simple way to deal with that. Simple way to deal with that. Let's start knocking down the door, eh? We got to deal with you first. Fine. We need to do 5 more damage to you. Let's start there. Flee, Smeagol! Screeching about how tricksy and mean you are, the creature flees through a crack in the wall. Last you hear of him is a wailing, precious. No, that would have been much more louder, much more sincere and stressed. 3-5. We're doing it.
For Rivendell!
We're doing it. End phase.
Leg it, double quick.
Where are they going to pursue us? Past the final objective? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We've got to keep our Aragorn safe and sound. He's the man. He the man. He the man. He the man. We've got one of those bad boys. Let's use it. This will be the last thing we can do.
So loud I could shoot you
Oh,
in
I
the dark.
forgot. This guy was there. Fine. I can 100% live with that. Like 100% live with that.
For Rivendell!
Let's not play a card then. Narrative.com.
You're elated to have found Bilbo, but the situation is grim. Just beyond the broken door, Ulfthak and his orc warriors are preparing a second attack. You cannot hold them off forever. Trapped and near despair, you prepare for a last stand. But wait, a shaft of moonlight attracts your eye. Screams and pleas from the other cells tear at your conscience, but there's no time. As you swear one day to return for the poor souls, Ulfthak commences the second onslaught. Quickly you lift a reluctant Bilbo out the high window, following headlong yourself. You crash onto a steep slope and tumble violently down through branches and brambles, until deposited with a splash into a cold stream. You see Bilbo a small distance ahead, treading water and sighing.
Oh no, old boy. Not again.
The current of the stream is strong, dragging you quickly downriver. In the distance you hear the now familiar cries of an orc pursuit. You're not in the clear yet.
Who's that? Oh, we got him. We're done. We're done. Quest complete. Narrative. Give me some Fs. 1,000 Fs. Ready one wounded character. I like that. I like that. That seems difficult. Challenge-wise. That does seem difficult. Well, yeah, it's all about that second location. I just couldn't do it, and I ran out of time. I would have changed my deck. I do apologise. Better luck next time, where we tackle Quest 5, Down the Anduin. For now, that's it from me. I'll see you next time.